Greetings, Goddess Body, Mind, Spirit. This is Tyra Omilade, your Goddess Guru, your sister friend, and you know I love helping women align with their life purpose using the power of ancient wisdom and the goddess-centered lifestyle. Y'all know what time it is. It is time for our inspired goddess morning circle. Where all you goddesses at? Let's do this, queens. This is how we start out. If you're new here, this is how we do it. We have a good time. I know Ocean Kimmy is here. How you doing, Minister? Are you dancing? Diza, Shannon, Bliss. Who else? Mystic. Y'all ready? I see I'm repping Africa today, Black History Month. Are you dancing with me? What's up, Vivi? Hello, Dr. Kurtia. Woohoo! How y'all doing? Okay, I'm gonna turn it off. Oh my gosh, how's everybody doing? I'm so happy to be here. Woo! Good to see everybody. G Hive. If anyone is new here, again, I'm Tyra Omilade. I'm your resident sister friend and priestess, and just so excited to be here on our weekly Inspired Goddess Circle. We talk a little astrology, we do a little bit of oracle reading, and we just have a good time. A lot of us are like, I don't really have people around me who think like me and do like me and act like me when it comes to spirituality and creativity and feeling like it's okay if I want to live a life of abundance, flow, and ease. And so, yeah, if you feel sort of like a misfit, you're welcome here. And G Hive stands for Goddess Hive because we embrace the feminine and yeah, just look to connect with the feminine within. And we are a community. So if you're here, make sure you say hello so the community can welcome you. We have Minister Eileen Sophia Ocean Kimmy Anke. How are you, Minister? How are you, Shannon? Yes, grab your morning beverage. What are you drinking? This morning, I am drinking water. This mug is very special. February 28th is my mother's birthday. And so I'm honoring my mom. I bought this mug for her and I've kept it. Just, every now and again I drink out of it. And so I was like, you know what? I'm drinking out of this mug with G Hive this morning. It says, Thoughts of Mother bring memories of love. This is for my mama. She's been gone for 27 years in May. So bittersweet, bittersweet. The world is in such disarray. I'm like, Mama, you good. I'll just see you when I get to the other side. Bonjour. How are you, Queen Diza? Good to see you. And Minister Ocean Kimmy is having a blend of herbal tea that she put together, like the fabulous Virgo that she is, mixed in with all of that Leo. Virgo know they're gonna put together some remedies, all right? I'm here. I love this, drinking liquid collagen. Yes, keep that skin and those bones on point, Diza. Yes. And Minister Ocean Kimmy is also having liquid collagen. Thank you so much. Yes, y'all, please give me a thumbs up on the video. It helps so much. And one of the reasons it helps is it keeps messages like the ones we share here, the ones I share with you all, you share with me, alive and well on the interwebs, getting out to other people who could benefit from it. So that's the main reason that I want to do that. But it does help give a lot of vibrancy to the channel. So thank you. Greetings, Bliss, Great Rising. How are you? We love dancing here. We love dancing. Yes, we do. Hello to the beautiful Mystic Storm. It reminds me of when I back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, be listening to the radio, and when it was time for them slow jams to come on, and it's time for the slow jams, or whatever they would say, but it just Mystic Storm. It just reminds me of that. Good morning, Vivi Embroidery Queen. I want to show everybody the prayer or the altar cloth that I got from you. Yes, yes, yes. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I'll pull up the up her la 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 the Etsy store. But yeah, it's beautiful. Thank you. I love this so much. I love it so much that I'm like, ooh, do I have to use it? Can I just I don't know, I might frame it or something. Good morning, Queen. Hello, Dr. Kratia. How are you? Yes, dance while you're at your desk, sister. You know, I'm trying to get like you. I do want to tell y'all about Kratia. She's a naturopath and she talks a lot about women and hormones. And so you can look her up on what's your Instagram handle? That's where I follow her. Um, yeah, so y'all check out Dr. It's look at how amazing. You know, we have I know Shannon is a priestess and um Diza is definitely a creative, like you know, art, music, that kind of thing, super techie. So many, just so many gifts and talents. We have the beautiful Catherine Cat Ballou Young. How are you, Queen? Such a graceful woman. Oh, how are you, Jessica? Good to see you. That's my Tennessee friend right there. Okay, chocolate milk and water. Ooh, that sounds delicious. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank y'all. Yes, beautiful work. Beautiful, beautiful work. There we go. Here we go. You already know. Is she young, y'all? Okay. That's right. Quiet storm. It's time for the quiet storm. And yes, Mystic Storm and I are in the same area. It's storming here now. Wow. Um, there's a Mystic Storm here on the storm in Houston and Quiet Storm. There we go. Quiet Storm at midnight in the Twin Cities back home. Yes, yes, yes. That's it. She does medicine. She does medicine. Look her up on Instagram. Always, always, always. Yes. Okay, so let me go on ahead and we're gonna get moving. I am gonna go on ahead and do a mindfulness practice. I don't know about y'all, but I feel like I need a mindfulness practice. But I want to just a second. I want to find this. Where is this messages? Um Where is this? Vivi? Oh, here we go. Vivi Embroidery Queen. I want to share Tanya's store with y'all. Copy. Hi, EM. How are you, Sister Priestess? So that's the link to go to Latanya's for if you're interested in getting a cloth made, altar cloth. I think she has other things too, but for sure, altar cloths. I would love it if y'all joined me also in the upcoming new moon retreat. It will be in Pisces. It's on March 8th. And what we're going to do with this one, I'm definitely going to do things that are relaxing and all about self care. But we are going to be focusing also on, stepping into pleasure and just taking that deeper into the rest of the year with us. We should be having fun. We should be having a good time, right? And the more we have pleasure, the better our hormones are, right, Dr. Cartia? Also, in March, on the 15th through the 16th, I invite y'all to join the Women's Circle Facilitator training. Make sure you reach out to me so you can get a code to register for free, because I can get you in for free. But it just really shows you the potential in gathering women. It doesn't matter if you have your own business, don't. It's great for people who do, if you do any kind of coaching. But if you just want to gather women in a way that will be safe, effective, transformational, healing, where we heal the sisterhood, then this is a training for you. Yes. Shannon is also a part of this, and I'm just so excited about it. This is the company that I'm a trainer for. So y'all know I approve it. Hi, Reggie. How are you? Those storms are packing a punch. I live in Indiana. Yeah, you know what? I saw something on a news story, and I thought maybe it didn't happen. That some storm system is coming from the west, going across. I don't know if that's the one that you're talking about, but wow, let us all be safe. And, I do want to do the meditation, but one thing I want to talk about is how much of the astrology is speaking to what we're seeing with a lot of going on in the environment. And that's largely because Jupiter and Uranus are both in Taurus, and Taurus has to do with the earth. And then there's just been a lot of planets over in Aquarius. And so those planets interacting, because Aquarius can create change, it can create disruption, and it's like electricity, right? It's a wind sign, so it could create a lot of wind, which I've noticed there's just been a lot of wind, but it's kind of the time of the year for that. Um, so and okay, that and the other thing that I have been noticing outside of the weather is I mentioned electrical, technological stuff going on. And it may be, wait a minute. Oh, the one that I was just like, wow, astrology just will be telling the truth. And the reason I like knowing these things is just because then it doesn't have to occupy my brain. And I'm like, I'm scared, what's going on? But who was affected by the AT&T outage? You know, that was bizarre. I know one of my siblings was, my younger brother was affected by the outage. And the other thing, like yesterday, my lights were flickering here, and it was just real quick flickers. So, it's electricity. It could be things with electricity. That's something that I mentioned also before, something with electricity. And then this morning, all of a sudden, the one of the breakers, went out on the lights downstairs. So we had to go reset the breaker. So just don't be surprised if you see stuff coming up with technology, if you see things coming up with the weather. And another thing that I plan on talking about today is, I'm going to stop right there because I'm doing a lot. So I'm working on. not doing too much all the time. This is tornado weather, so be careful. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's something like that I saw coming across the country. March is a busy month. After the Rise into Leadership is the symposium weekend at Mount Shasta. Okay, I hadn't heard about that. Um, Bliss, look in you know what? I'm gonna post it in Mighty Networks once I get off today. That way it's easier to find the code. But if you have an email from me, the code is in the email. The link is below in the description box, but I can't remember if I put the code there. If y'all can see it, the code is there, let me know. I don't think I put the code there. Well, we're happy to have you here. Hi, Foolproof Content. I love that name. So happy that you're sipping your coffee with us too. Welcome. No, future proof. You got to excuse my 50 plus eyes and my COVID brain, future proof. Ah, okay. On her birthday. Wow. Wow. Yeah. It's a lot of madness going on or just interesting things. A lot of interesting things happening. So okay. I tell you what, let's just go on ahead and do a quick mindfulness practice. And I love mindfulness because it truly brings ease and healing to the mind, to the body, to the emotions, and to the soul. And one thing I do love working with is the parasympathetic nervous system. I think that many of us have our parasympathetic nervous systems not activated enough. I'll say it that way. Our sympathetic nervous system is activated quite a bit. And when we think sympathetic nervous system, I want you to think about the word stress. Stress activates the sympathetic nervous system. It's about flight, it's about fight, freeze, fawn. And so it's a good thing, but when we have it activated so much, then it's not good. And one of the reasons that it's activated so much is because we see things that look like a threat, even though we're not under threat directly. We could see something that looks like a threat and it will activate our sympathetic nervous system because it's all about being safe. Sometimes we could just be running playing something in our mind, but social media can activate that sympathetic nervous system and it just keeps us, in fight, flight, freeze, fawn mode, and it is not healthy. It's supposed to be something that's short term. And so, and it was, something that was adapted because our ancestors had to stay alert and keep themselves safe. Things like unhealed trauma can keep us in a state where our sympathetic nervous system is activated on the regular. I remember when I used to I would think it's not safe to feel safe. And I just always kind of stayed in a heightened state. But that can wear down our body. It can mentally, it can cause mental erosion. Excuse me, y'all. I'm still getting over, like healing up from COVID. And it's like our emotional body can never be at rest and at peace. So we want to do things to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which brings about peace. We feel safe. It allows our body to heal. It allows our body to digest food better. We want to learn how to activate that, especially, just with so much going on that could make just driving can activate that sympathetic nervous system. So we need to learn how to bring it down as quickly as possible. And that's one of the things that I love about mindfulness. So this one is all about helping us to activate the parasympathetic nervous system through just breathing deeper. We want to have longer breaths and also just getting ourselves quieted down through our breath. Okay. Because we definitely want our parasympathetic nervous system to be in the driver's seat the majority of the time. So I just want to say when we talk about mindfulness, we want to think about we are inhaling the breath and exhaling the breath, and we're just being present to it. Okay. We just want to become at one, noticing the breath. And what I love about it is how zoned in it brings me to the moment. So the more we live in the moment, so we think about spiritual teachings, and the more we live in the moment, this is where the magic actually happens. Okay. So let us go into just taking, we're going to do 3 mindful breaths. And what we'll do is we'll start off with just allowing ourselves to become still, even if for those of you who are working right now, you don't even have to close your eyes, but for those who can, you can close your eyes or just lower your gaze and see, can you just notice what it feels like to be sitting where you're sitting or standing where you're standing? Just bring your awareness fully present to the points of contact between your body and your seat or the floor. Can you just bring your awareness deep, deep, deep into what does it feel like to sit there, to stand? And before we start, I want you to remember mindfulness helps us to cultivate certain qualities. And one quality that I plan on talking about a little bit more here in the upcoming video is the quality of curiosity. I put out a little rambly. I'm sorry that video was so rambly, but I was just trying to get myself to making, sharing putting something out to share. But I shared a video about the need for us to have more compassion. And one of the things I talked about in there is I think that we lack compassion, or there's so much lack of compassion in the world today because people are so judgy. And so one of the ways we can get around being judgy is to choose curiosity. And our mindfulness practice helps us to develop that curiosity. So, in this practice, I want you to be curious about just what is happening as you practice. So, non judgment. We want to have non judgment, and we want to have curiosity, and we want to have a lot of care and compassion for ourselves. Make sure you offer yourself, like, oh, sweet baby, I love you. I want you to offer that to yourself. So, what we're going to do is take a long, slow, deep breath in and a long, slow, deep breath out through your mouth. And as you do that, just notice the breath, what it feels to breathe in, what it feels to breathe out. And let's just pause after that exhale. Taking note of how you feel just with one deep inhale and exhale. Let's do that again. Deep breath in and slow, deep breath out. Bringing yourself very aware of this cycle of breath. And just pausing for a moment, just noticing as you breathe normally. What are you sensing? What are you feeling inside of your body? Or maybe even with the quality of your breath now. One thing I say often is air is so unappreciated until you start running out of it. So let us just take time to appreciate our breath. And we're going to do one more deep breath in. Inhale through your nose. Long, slow, deep breath out through your mouth. See, can you bring relaxation into your body? One thing I love about mindfulness is the ability to open ourselves up to um, just feeling more relaxed, and it doesn't cost anything to do it. Those just 3 mindful breaths can be something that helps to calm you down and invoke safety and groundedness in the body. So I want you to remember that we have such a gift in our breath. And this is a practice you can take with you wherever you go. If you're at work, if you are at a party and, it's kind of like, I don't want to be here. Or if you're driving, in traffic, you can take 3 mindful breaths with you. If you're lying in bed and you can't go to sleep, you can take 3 mindful breaths with you wherever you go. And at the very least, it will help to ease the tension and it won't cost you anything, but just a small investment of your precious, precious time. Ah, yes, Bliss. Check out that email. It's there. Thank you. I know you get this because part of the way that we are getting so hormonally out of whack is that sympathetic nervous system is just staying activated. We exercise in a way that activates the sympathetic nervous system, but we don't actually do something to bring it down. We eat food, whether we fully realize it or not. I've become so sensitive to food that I can see how food activates my sympathetic nervous system. It's just so much. It's just so much. And I'm not advocating for any one diet because I don't believe there's one diet for the whole planet. I do not believe that. I'm just saying that each individual has their own, like what might activate my sympathetic nervous system may not activate yours, and vice versa, So it's an individual thing, but, because I don't want us to be getting all legalistic about food. Oh, okay. I'm glad that we went over that. We went through that. Yes, calm the system. If you are in business, this is one of probably the key ways that I've learned about the need to calm the nervous system because everything feels like a threat sometimes in business or doing new things, whether you're in business or not, doing new things feel unsafe. Oh, there's something else I need to show y'all too. Actually, today, okay, so that's why we wanted to activate the nervous system. Let me sip out of my cup that I gave my mom. So I forgot to tell y'all, I'm gonna be um on the Living Naturally radio today. Let me just see. Let me do it this way. And y'all know that I'm going deeper and deeper into hypnotherapy. I'm calling mine something very, very special. So I will be sharing more with you all on that. But I'll be talking with Michaela Jones. Actually, I probably need to connect you and Michaela, Dr. Katia. But anywho, I will be talking largely about hypnosis, but we'll also maybe talk a little bit about astrology. And that is today. And let me see here. I can drop the link. That's at 1 p.m. Central Time, so 2 p.m. Eastern Time, because y'all know I typically talk in Eastern Time zone here. And then on Thursday, I'm going to be part of the Business Power Hour, and I'll drop the link for that. But um, Faith Mariah. She's a coach I've worked with for 3 years now, and I followed her for 4, but been a part of her mastermind since um, 2021. And so they invited me to come on because we're talking about the importance of investing in yourself as a business owner, because she focuses on online business owners. But what we'll be talking about won't just be me, it'll be other people. What we'll largely be talking about is just investing in yourself. So anyone is welcome to come into the Facebook group because that's where hers is. And and watch us live. But she has a podcast, so you can follow her podcast also. So join me for that. Yes. Um, Dr. Katia, will you go into Instagram and just drop the reminder to connect you with Michaela? That because I may not remember after all the talking I'm going to do today. Okay. All righty. Good, Bliss. Very, very good. I love that you did that. So I want to talk about the astrology, which I kind of touched on this in something. I can't remember. Maybe it was the Virgo moon, but this is a major transit right here. Let me just back up to February the 27th, Mars square Jupiter. That's one of those transits that I think is creating uh, with like the disruptions with the weather, disruptions with technology, could be something with the internet because Aquarius is the internet. And y'all remember, I think what I said last week to you all was that it won't be until both Mars and Venus are out of Aquarius that we'll start to see things settle down a little bit. All right. So that's that. And one thing I want to talk about too, okay, is this Sun conjunct Mercury, Mercury conjunct Saturn, and Sun conjunct Saturn. Let's look here. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Let's look here. So, whenever we see a conjunction, it's very important. And we have to remember if it's a conjunction that involves Saturn, it's one that hasn't happened, or it's one that won't happen again for 30 years, or Saturn is in this place for the first time in 30 years. So, it's like a Saturn return for whatever is happening for us right now. 30 years ago, something popped off and we have finished the cycle, and now we're starting a new cycle, okay? Because Saturn is in Pisces. It hasn't been there for almost 20 or 30 years. So to have the Sun and Mercury conjunct Saturn in Pisces is significant. Now they'll do it again next year, don't get me wrong, but for them to conjunct all at the same time is significant. All right. So we want to think about Pisces. Pisces has to do with healing and intuition. And I think that Saturn can help us to begin to become more masterful at both, or even create some structure around both. And so I love that. Now, Saturn is karmic. So it could be something karmic that we're kicking off in terms of like healing, or karma is not just bad, right? Saturn is a little bit strict. So we often think of Saturnian karma is not good. But Saturn is like, I reward you if you do good, and I punish you if you do bad. It's just how it is with Saturn. But it's definitely, I think it could be healing, kicking off healing regarding something karmic. Um, you know, Saturn is about boundaries and structure. And so when it comes to healing, maybe we need some more boundaries and structure in order to heal. But it can help to make you just so masterful. So if you're a healer, whatever kind of healer that is. Also, Pisces is doctors. So, people in the medical, naturopath world, or that kind of world, because there's all kinds of doctors out there that work on the human body and help to bring healing to it and, keep it healthy. So this could be a beautiful transit for anyone doing this kind of work, because it will help to make you masterful. Like over the next 30 years, you could become just the best at it. Mercury is the mind. And so it's could be bringing in a lot of ideas, or it's like a renewal of the mind when it comes to healing, when it comes to care. Maybe this is why I was like, oh, we need to do mindfulness today. Maybe it'll help us to develop some good practices. um, you know, Both Mercury and Saturn can be about having set routines. And what kind of routines do we want? We want anything related to Pisces, healing, spirituality, even creativity. So it can help us, for those who are creatives, this can help you in terms of being more creative in a way that is productive. um, Maybe it has some direction because Saturn wants some kind of direction. Okay. Also, it could be bringing about the need to be more compassionate and humane, which maybe is one of the reasons I brought up. Well, the compassion piece kind of came from me talking about the Virgo full moon. So, it's a lot going on with the topic of compassion right now. So it can help us to be maybe more compassionate in our minds. Like we need to bring that compassion mindset, state of being or whatever into our mind. Okay. So the sun is um, inner intelligence, radiance, brilliance. So with the sun being there with those two planets, number one, Virgos and Geminis, Aquariuses and Capricorns could be feeling low energy right now because the sun is so close to those planets, they're invisible. I forgot that Saturn was invisible. Is Saturn? It's got to be invisible. So those planets are invisible. So it's like it takes those planets energy from being accessed in the world, and it's like we need to be working on this on the inside. But the sun brings this intelligent energy. It's like we can be getting these downloads, and it can feel like they're coming from otherworldly places because it's Pisces. But it could be a download around creativity, spirituality, and healing. I want you just to open yourself up to something new happening that is related to one of the topics that I've given to you all. And on the world level, because Saturn has to do with society, something with nonprofits. I've actually noticed with the nonprofit that I work for, it's been Saturn is restriction. And there has been struggles for my nonprofit to get money. I was talking to the director, and there's just challenges coming for this particular nonprofit. So it's something around nonprofits that we could see really they're kind of struggling, or maybe nonprofits are one of the things that I remember saying is that they will be kicking off more to raise money or operate in a new way. Um, from how they used to operate. Also, Pisces is the water. So we might start seeing something new kick off, regulations around the water. I'm going to tell y'all, my son is in the Coast Guard. So I get this one newsletter that talks about what's happening on the water. And I get stressed looking at that. It's pirates out there. I don't know if y'all, I was at the gym working out and they had the TV on, and they said this couple they were missing, and maybe they had been hijacked. They were out on this yacht. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like a lot of stuff going on. When we think about cruise ships, they're constantly, it's like all this stuff going into the ocean. So maybe we're going to start seeing more regulations around water. And I mean, I want us to even think about with Pisces being water. Maybe there's something I don't believe in being too like drinking too much alkaline water because that messed me up. So I'm not talking, we need to do alkaline water. We need to get extreme and radical about our drinking water. But I do think I know because we all know there's so much pollution in the water that we definitely want to be thinking more, be more mindful about the water that we drink. All right. So that could be something that starts coming up for some of us. But I really do think this is a time of inspiration, but it's inspiration and creativity that can actually be channeled into manifesting something. All right. I also want to just say one last one. I think that this could be a transit that advocates. Okay, yeah, I got my Black History shirt on. All right. But I have on two tops and I'm burning up. So now my Black History shirt is is my little towel. We are very creative. You know, Black folk, we real creative. So I got real creative in that moment and turned a shirt into a towel. But um I think that this can help us to really manifest and it'll turn into it'll go from something that's in our imagination, which could be Pisces, to in our in the manifest realm. One last thing, because I am going to be talking about hypnosis more and more, I think that this can take up, it can make things like hypnosis and mindfulness, meditation, anything that's impacting the inner world and the subconscious mind, take it to the next level. So, for all of y'all hypnotherapists, NLP, mindfulness, meditation practitioners out there, use this to help you in your business. So that's a really big transit right there, y'all. Please don't sleep on that. Hey, still learning. I be writing that Saturn in Pisces like a lifeline. Yes, spiritual movement practices. Please and thank you, Saturn. Let me tell y'all this too. Pisces is about music. So I think that maybe we're going to hear some new music take off. I subscribe to Saturn being the ruler of Aquarius, which has to do with change and transformation, radical. It's like we're getting out in the streets. So with Saturn being there, it could be we're going to start seeing music. When I think about resistance music, that kind of music that speaks to what's going on in the world, I think that might become more prevalent. But just the use of music in general, I think that this could be something that it becomes more prominent than what we already know that it is. Because I know a lot of us here love and adore music. So yeah, very healing transit. And so yeah, we're kicking something off for the next 30 years. This will happen again next year. So we'll have one more time. I think the Sun and Mercury have already passed by, but they didn't do it like this, where they were all three there at the same time. That is very, very unique. Okay. So we're going to have Mercury sextile Jupiter. So again, that's bringing in this energy of healing and but it's like healing of the mind. It can bring in some groundedness in the mind. So again, maybe that's why I was like, hey, we need to do our mindfulness practice today. Because it could be this emphasis and this focus on just having that health around the mind. It could also be some of us are thinking about traveling, making a trip somewhere, maybe you're looking into it or you're booking it, you want to go travel abroad or it's like you're setting up a healing trip or something like that. If you're doing healing work right now, this could be a good time for you where you're like, wow, it's like everything that I'm doing with my clients, my patients is like it's on point. It's really working. I also think that this can bring some inspiration around your goals and like long-term planning. And it's kind of like for me, what has happened is it was like I know I'm going somewhere, but I can't quite see it. So yesterday, I actually went to a coaching call and kind of talked about the plan that I have, and the coach was like, "All right, this is what we need to do." Boom, and I could see it out there now. It's like I know where I'm headed. So it's kind of like you can see the long term goal, but by the same token, it is you can get all the to do steps that you need to follow to get there. Also, I think this could bring about like a monetary blessing of some sort, like a little miracle where it's kind of like, "Ooh, I needed this money and it came," or maybe you didn't need the money, but it's just like money came out of nowhere. But it's like this blessing. Maybe it's not money; it's resources. You get blessed for it, but you'll have to do something to actually make sure you grasp it and take advantage of it. It may not just come and plunk down right in your lap. You might have to get up and go get it, right? Um, one last thing is this is very creative energy. I think it could bring out quite a bit around creativity and also, it's like let's relax, let's take it easy. We might not feel like we just want to work, 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 work. All right. Even though we just had that Virgo moon, and there was a lot in that Virgo moon that was about working, but you may not feel like you really want to work super hard right now. It's kind of like, I'll work a little bit, but then I want to just kind of indulge a little bit. So, yeah, that is a nice transit. Yeah. Okay. So then we go to March on Friday. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Like totally. Sun sextile Jupiter is the same thing. It's the same thing where we will be feeling inspired. So I want y'all to think about this on tomorrow, the 29th, leap year. Woohoo! February 29th, Friday, the 1st, and Saturday, the 2nd, easily. We might even be feeling it today. It's just this level of inspiration, creativity, and it's like this wisdom, this intelligence that you feel connected to is what this could feel like. Now, it does give us energy, so you might feel like you want to get some stuff done. Um, I think that this could be a sign of abundance, but again, it's like you have to go do something to get it. So, yeah. And then we have Venus square Uranus, and we're going to have Mercury sextile Uranus. So, both of those interacting with Uranus, it brings up something that is unpredictable could happen. It could be in terms of relationship, it could be like a aha, eureka type moment. A lot of times I relate Uranus to getting a download. So it's like all of a sudden you get this download. It could be something around like your body, your self-care, your self-worth, your, self-value. That topic is up right now because we have Jupiter in Taurus. So I really want y'all to take advantage of Jupiter in Taurus. One of the things that I think about is, to me, when we really look at the economy and how things are working. I can't remember if I told y'all this, so pardon me if I'm repeating myself, but I remember going into Costco. I want to say it was after Christmas because I just knew, oh, I can go there and I can just be free. Everybody's gone now. I'm like, this is the day after Christmas. I don't even know if it was the day after Christmas, but it was definitely after Christmas when you would not expect people to be shopping. Everybody was in Costco shopping. I was like, whoa. I was like, I guess the economy is good, even during Christmas, the Christmas season. I'm just like, every time I go out, it's just folks shopping. So when we really look at with like objective eyes, the economy is doing well, and I think the economy is doing well in part because we have Jupiter and Uranus there. We have Jupiter and Uranus in Taurus, and so you know Jupiter is leaving Taurus in May. So I want us to take advantage of Jupiter being in Taurus. We really want to open ourselves. If anyone is still dealing with self worth values, money issues and challenges, personal finance topics, there's no shame in that. Okay. Most of us never really taught. A lot of us don't have that inclination. Some of us have astrology for spending money. Don't judge yourself, but take advantage of Jupiter being there. What is Jupiter wisdom? And it can help you to grow and expand. It can help you to grow and expand your abundance consciousness. And it's not just about money. Abundance isn't, but Taurus is about money. All right. So I really want to just help us out. All right. So we can, we can work on our abundance consciousness. Taurus is about self worth and value. And so, Jupiter is there helping us to step deeper into our worth and our value so that our life reflects the inner worth and value that we experience. And if you don't have that worth and value, then it's like, okay, Jupiter, I'm a student of yours with grace and ease. Help me to, open the abundance within me because it's all within us. Okay. And, maybe there's some ways that you want to make money and you're not doing it yet, but this is a time where you can plant that seed. Maybe you can get that wisdom or you can find someone who's already done it and just start listening to them and like how they got started. And what can you take from them that will help you to get going and what you're doing? So I really want us to dig into Jupiter and Taurus in terms of it really helping us to manifest more in our lives, more resources, more everything. And so Venus and Uranus squaring, that could have something to do with money. But I just think that Venus square Uranus, it could just bring, it can make us, both of these can make us want to just do something new, do something different, just go in a whole new direction. Some folks might break up at that time. I don't want to speak that into existence, but it's just part of the astrology. And I want to tell y'all the full astrology. But Uranus always wants us to break free. All right. Venus and Mercury, they don't really do things to hurt us. So that's why I'm like, just be ready. Be ready. Expect the unexpected. Expect even you to kind of feel like I want to do something new and different. Okay. And then that's it until we get till next Friday. So yeah. Then we're going into that new moon in Pisces. So that'll be really, really interesting. Okay. I think that's all that I have for the astrology. I didn't look at everything. The Saturn has clicked on my creative process. I love that. Just finished my medicine wheel program for my website, launches in March. Oh, I'll have to look into that. I want to learn more about that, Shannon. Okay. Downloads have been flowing, channeling strong. Beautiful. Oh, really? Okay. Nice. Yeah, I'm not anti-alkaline water, but when people tell us only to drink alkaline water, I'm like, for me, that I'm not doing it. I will purify my water, don't get me wrong, but um, alkaline water messed my whole system up, drinking too much of it. I'll say it that way. Oh, it's interesting, Reggie, that you bring up Bob Marley because I had meant to say, if I didn't say it, Bob Marley, that kind of music, I think is gonna come back and really, it'll be a big thing. Martin Luther King with revolution on music and politics. Yes, 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 yes. Mm-mm-mm. That's beautiful bliss. Yes, Reiki is amazing. Yeah, just send me some information so I can let people know. Maybe you did send it to me, but maybe I don't know. Make sure you do that. Beautiful priestess. Beautiful. Thank y'all for all of those beautiful comments. So I I guess I'm feeling Uranian today because I decided I want to pull from a deck that I used to pull from all the time. I love this deck so much. It's one of the decks that helped me to really learn new things about goddesses. So let's get us a reading for this next week. This is my Pathways of the Soul Oracle deck. This lady's name is Nancy Miller Ogren. To me, she's like an OG. She puts out a journal and she has this Oracle deck that's been out. Let's see here. When did she put this out? 2003. Wow. Okay, so pathways of the soul. It's like what takes you out of the pathway into your soul. Because on these cards, it's like think about a labyrinth. And so it takes you out and brings you into the soul. So what takes us out of the soul this morning? This week, what do we want to just be cautious of? And the card I'm pulling is, oh, this is interesting. Isolation. Isolation. So we want to be careful of isolation. And that's interesting because actually Pisces can be a little bit isolating. You just feel like you just want to be in your inner world. You don't want to go anywhere. But this particular isolation has to do with it's kind of like nobody understands. I don't have any support, that kind of thing. Probably how I felt last week, just isolated. Thank you all so much for y'all's love. It just made me so good, feel so good to come on and just get all of that love. But yeah, we want to just be cautious of isolating ourselves to the point where, you know, you just get so in your head and in your mind, and you don't have anything on the outside to help counter um, what's going on in your mind. And so I can definitely say this might be a week where some of us need to be like, "Hey, I need some support." Who can you reach out to and ask for support? Interesting, because the second card I pulled, which is the pathway into the soul, is called expansion. Oh, yes, expansion. Okay, and that's interesting since we just talked about Jupiter. Uh, Jupiter is a sign that or a planet that has to do with expansion. So it's kind of like the isolation is not going to help us to expand. So let me see. This one is called pathway support. Where do you want to find that support? Oh, innocence. Innocence. That's about now. Wait, Tyra, hold up. Wait a minute. Let me put something else in it. Pisces is actually a sign that I relate to innocence. And it's just because Pisces is it's a sign that has to do with here's something that I want y'all to know. Because even if you're not a Pisces, when you have a transit that is affecting your Pisces house or your 12th house, or your 12th house ruler for those who know astrology, it will be a time where you have to act like a Pisces. If you have planets in the 12th house, especially the personal planets, you might want to pay attention to this. Pisces is a sign that when we think about the fish, it has no protective covering. Like when we think about Cancerians, they have, the crab, which has the shell. Scorpios have that outer shell. Both of them have the pinchers. Pisces is the fish. The fish does not have anything to protect it. And so one of the calls for Pisces is to have a deep and abiding trust in the universe that the universe is going to take care of, that person, spirit, God, goddess, great mother, whatever term you use, infinite intelligence will take care of you. And you have to give expecting nothing in return. Okay. But that is part of why Pisces has this innocence about it. There's something when you meet people like Pisces almost seems gullible. They can just see so much goodness in everything and everybody. It's like our blessing and our curse because I'm a Pisces. But innocence is definitely something that we want to tap into. I relate it to our inner child. And innocence actually allows for expansion. Innocence allows for us to let someone in. One of the greatest lessons that I've had to learn as a Pisces is that I can trust myself and I can trust the universe. I can trust the divine. I can trust the great mother. As long as I have the trust in the great mother and in myself, then I don't have to worry and wonder, is someone going to do something to me? I know it will be shown to me. Otherwise, I can allow myself, and innocence can bring in that ease innocence can allow that parasympathetic system to kick in and just allow you to be, at ease. When we think isolation, it's got to be some tension. We weren't meant to be isolated. Yeah, yes, we need that quiet time. But there's a difference between getting away and being isolated, cutting yourself off from other people or feeling like you've been cut off from other people. So we want to make sure we take that time to connect with others. So let me just go through what some of this means for isolation. One of the main words for this is surrender. So some of us need to surrender in some way this week. Surrender is challenging for people. It's very, very challenging for people. So the goddess that I want to bring in here is um, Amaterasu. A lot of us have heard about Amaterasu. She's very popular, as I know, but she is all about, she had isolated herself. Actually, she went into a cave, presented the sun and light. The whole world descended into darkness, and so there was another goddess that Uzumi had to come and bring Amaterasu, or she created laughter. Let's even go to that. Uzumi created laughter amongst the other deities so that Amaterasu got curious and wanted to come out and see what was going on. And that Uzumi represents that childlike energy, that wild woman energy. And to a certain degree, it's kind of like this innocence. When we're in that innocent mode, we can have fun, right? So, this is what Amaterasu represents. So she comes out and now the light is back, it's shining again. So when we go into isolation, it's one thing to just be like, I am, just spending some alone time. But when it's isolation, like I don't have nobody in the world to help me, nothing to help me. Essentially, it's like our inner sun goes into the cave. And so we want to, surrender. Maybe there's a message coming to you because there are so many messages coming right now as to where you can go to get some support. And you want to surrender to that message. Okay. Let's see here. The animal I want to call on is the crane. The crane assists in the transition into the light from the darkness. It can help you be willing to look at what is in front of you. Now, let me tell you that Saturn in Pisces is a definitely get real type of energy. And so maybe some of us are in isolation over this next week because there's something we are avoiding. Woo, I just got a shiver when I said that. But the crane, you can call on the energy of the crane to help you to be able to actually look at what's there. It's part of what this full moon was about, y'all. Like we really want to see what's there so that it's more empowering when we face it. Let me say it that way. So that's interesting. And the color I want to give is turquoise. So maybe you want to wear turquoise this week. That color has to do with renewal, the energy of natural healing, rejuvenation, transformation, and rebirth. And it can help us open to new possibilities. So that's a color that you could wear for this week. So when it comes to expansion, I'll show y'all the expansion card one more time. And I'll look at y'all's comments in just a moment. I don't have my glasses on. Okay, expansion is she says it happens everywhere within you, around you, about you, but you have to let go of the reins of how expansion is going to happen for you. And that kind of speaks to what I was talking about with Pisces. It's like Pisces has to trust that everything is working in their favor, that the universe is going to take care of them. And it's not like it's got to be like this. Pisces is like, I just know it's all taken care of, you know? So, yeah, Pisces is an energy that has to do with faith. It could be very culty and, this blind faith, That's to me the negative expression of Pisces. Um, I guess blind faith, everything has its positive and its negative, but it really is kind of sort of like you have to have a deep, deep faith in the universe to take care of you. And so you're not trying to control how everything is going to happen because Pisces definitely is a sign that is not about control, even though I think Saturn is going to help us. But that's one thing. Maybe this week we'll have a moment where it's like, you know what? I need to not try to control how this thing is going to happen. I'm just trusting in the universe. I'm trusting in the great mother, how this will happen. So the goddess I want to highlight for this one is I'm gonna do it's Baru Diek Parujar. This is out of Malaysia. She's the Malaysian guardian, also known as guardian of life, and she has to do with harvest. And I'm choosing that just because we had that full moon in Virgo, which we're still under Virgo. Virgo is definitely a sign of harvest. It says it is the spirit of adventure and the leap of faith into expansion that this goddess inspires. So, actually, when we think about the planets that are in Aquarius, and then we talked about the Uranian energy that we'll see into next week, that is about adventure. So it could be some grand adventure that we want to open ourselves up to over the next week. The animal that I want to choose is I'm going to choose jaguar. This particular animal stands for redeeming. Jaguar assists you on the path of discovery and has the ability to walk in many realms. So maybe that's something that we'll be doing, especially with all of this Pisces energy highlighted. Walking in many realms. Okay, I like that. All right, here's our last one. Innocence. Okay, so innocence. Let's see here. Oh, interesting. Okay. It says here, it's interesting. Okay. What you need to do is stop taking yourself so seriously. Innocence is a part of our soul purpose. It's something positive. It's about being in a state of personal confidence and trust. Whoa, I love that. Innocence is about being in a state of personal confidence and trust. I would say the sun conjuncting um, Mercury and Saturn, that could be something that's about. As we release wounding, fear, and other dynamics that bind us, we're able to come closer to the state of grace we need to access in order to go forward um, and moving into our soul, like moving into our purpose. So don't take yourself so seriously, people. It says, what I'm asking for is integration. You can be savvy, world-wise, you can be successful, you can be whatever you want to be. But when you add innocence into the mix, it brings out the resonance of everything else so much more. Okay. So let's tap into our inner child. That's how I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna go with Coventina, if someone knows how to say that, if I'm not saying it right. She's out of the Celtic tradition, and she stands for wishes. It says, this goddess flows easily into our lives to bring the gifts of clarity and virtue to help us recognize our heart's true desire. So I like that. And I'm going to bring in Otter because that's one of my favorite animal totems. I don't even know what she stands for. She stands for joy. So let's have more joy over this next week. Otter asks you to join in the romp, breathe, laugh, enjoy. Nothing needs to be taken too seriously. Life is a joy. Just ask Otter. And the color I want to give to you all is blue for express devotion. These energies connect all the aspects from the physical into the etheric. Wow. So blue, wear blue. Did I give us one for expansion? I feel like I didn't do one for expansion. So hold on one second. The color for expansion, rainbow. I'm just going to do rainbow. And rainbow has to do with intention. With rainbow, there is a continual movement of color through you. The blending of all the colors helps you embrace balance and expansion. So work with the rainbow over this next week. Love, love, love all of that for love that for all of us. Oh, thank you. Okay, Shannon's gone. I didn't see that. Mars and Pisces has you deep in solo mode. That'll have you deep in solo mode on the regular. So yes, get into community. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Nice. Still learning. It's nice to be in that place. It really is. Yeah. Let me from Catherine, the distinction between isolation versus just getting away are significant. Yes. Yes. Okay, I love how you said this, still learning. Permission to spirit walk with the jaguar. All right. Yay, I'm glad you think so. Beautiful. All right, queens. So what I want to talk about um in another video, it's several thoughts that are coming to me. One is curiosity versus judgment. I know I talked a little bit about that today, but I want to just go a little deeper into talking about how curiosity is a remedy to being judgmental. And Jupiter in Taurus is also related to our values. And so I'm going to talk about how a lot of the judgment comes from we just have different values. So that's something I want to talk about. And I want to talk about what is her name? I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I don't know a lot about Wendy Williams, but I just gotta look at her chart. She's people stay making videos about Wendy Williams. And so I just want to look at her chart and see what is happening so that we can kind of understand, what's really happening. She could have this very challenging transit, and that's why she's having these these health challenges or whatever. Shoot, maybe she's a Pisces. I don't when is her birthday? And also I'm going to talk about Ava DuVernay. I'm sorry if I'm saying her name wrong. Someone asked me to talk about her. Wendy Williams birth chart. Wendy Williams is she a Pisces? Everyone just keeps talking about how people are taking advantage of her. I'll do this in a separate video, but yeah, I'm going to talk about that. Oh, uh, she's got a Scorpio moon, so that says a lot. Oh, she's a Cancerian. Okay, I kind of see it. She's had her Saturn return. I had wondered if Saturn was hitting her up, so she's had her Saturn return. So that's saying a lot. But maybe things will get better for her because her Jupiter is in Taurus. But I want to talk about what's going on with Wendy. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Wendy, with that Taurus and that Uranus. Even Uranus is on her. Yeah, I can see already what's going on with Wendy. So I'm going to talk about that in another video and see, is there anything else I want to talk about? Join us today with me and Dr. Michaela. I dropped the link in there. Oh, let me give y'all's faiths if y'all want to join. You do have to join in Facebook in the group. Of course, it costs nothing. And that's tomorrow at 1 p.m. 2 p.m. Eastern time, I think it is. Yeah, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Oh, so both of them at 2 p.m. Eastern time. Still learning. Wild story. I manifested a Taurus man on a Taurus moon in October 2023. He broke up with me on Valentine's Day, but he still says he misses me. Loud. loud, loud. That is a wild story. Very wild story. And he's smart to miss you. Who knows? Let's see what happens. I don't know. You said new moon. It had to have been a full moon, October 2023. Yeah. Oh, it was that's an eclipse relationship. I remember someone one time I told them, look, you started a relationship during an eclipse, break up and then start it again at a time that's better. Let me know when y'all want to get back together so I can give you a time. Yeah, if you're saying that, okay, something is wrong with the link for today's event. Hold on one second. To you. Let me give you it this way. This is for the radio show. And I guess it'll go live at that time, at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So October 2023, full moon in Taurus. Let me just double check. Tell me if that works, Kurtia. That October 2023 moon is the reason I have been just doing everything I can to stay healthy. I feel like it has created so much just wildness, I'll use your word. The 20, you said 2023? Yes, October 2023. That was a full moon eclipse. Full moon eclipse. So that's an eclipse relationship. And I find when relationships are started, especially that close to the eclipse, because this one was like that one. It could be like a karmic relationship. The one I'm thinking about happened, I think it was in Capricorn. It was a Capricorn eclipse. And that relationship was one that I was just like, I don't even understand it. Like this is crazy. This is madness. When we start our relationships matter. Sometimes when I do readings for ladies or some of my coachees, I'll tell them, if you're interested in a man, let me tell you something. You need to wait. It doesn't even have to be a love relationship. Any relationship. When I really want a relationship to work, I will schedule all the times that we're meeting, everything. I will look at my chart to see, you know, or just look at the astrology. Is the moon in a sign? Is it out of a sign? If it's at an eclipse time, I'm like, you know what? We're going to just wait a couple of weeks, let this eclipse energy pass before we get going. Many people who I've told in my coaching program, they're like, I'm ready to sign up today. And I'll say, you know what? Right now we're in Mercury retrograde. So we're going to start once Mercury retrograde is over. Just as soon as it's over, we can book your first visit. I don't send no payment links, nothing until Mercury retrograde is over. So definitely, that is what I call an eclipse relationship. And look at what happened. If you think about it, you go from Taurus to Aquarius. Those are both fixed energies. And for me, that's what I was trying to get to. I was like, please let me get through Aquarius. And it just had me all kinds of caught up because it was right there by my moon. And it was actually on my Saturn. And so we get to the next fixed sign and then it's over. So I'm not fully surprised to hear that. So yeah. You met in December. 2 months after that. Oh my goodness, that's wild. Yeah. Yes, that eclipse sent me from clinical psych to school psych. Oh, that is so you too. Yes, yes, yes. All right, Queens, thank y'all so much for being here. I appreciate you, and I hope that you got something useful, inspiring from our circle today. I'm wishing you a beautiful next week, and I hope that y'all enjoy the videos that I've put out, or sometimes I'm putting it out on my podcast. or the ones that are to come. I hope that they are helping you so, so much. And again, if you would like the video and share it with someone who you think could use the mindfulness, the astrology, or the reading that we shared today. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you. All right, y'all take care. Peace and love. Oh, thank you. Take care.